I've never understood the KJV only perspective. What's your take on that? Or maybe you'll be able to help me understand some of the arguments that people make as to why that is a more reliable translation than perhaps what you're
Sure.
working with?
I think there are two levels there. The one level is the academic. There are some scholars who continue to defend what's called the majority text, so that the King James Version is based on a majority of the Greek manuscripts. And they say the majority is probably what we should go with. And so academically, they say the King James kind of English tradition kept up in the New King James Version is what we should go with. Now, most scholars are convinced, however, that in this case, the majority is not right. That the reason there are a majority of manuscripts that translate a certain way is simply because of the influence of that part of the church. And that the earlier and best manuscripts have a different text. I think at the other level, then, people like the King James Version for cultural reasons. I think it's something that, this is traditional. This is, what we grew up with, or something of the sort. It sounds like holy English. And so I think a lot of people like the King James, not because of some academic argument about the text, but simply because it sounds like the Bible, and it's been around a long time.
Yeah, and I could try and sound more pious than I am, by quoting from King James, but for me, to me, it's reminiscent of studying Shakespeare, where, yes, it does slow you down and it makes you kind of focus on word for word and really dig to get the meaning. And there's something to be appreciated about that. But for the vast majority of my reading, I don't really want to be tripped up and stumbling on every little turn of phrase. And, that's
and obviously there's a difference here. If you're studying Shakespeare, he wrote originally in English. Mm-hmm. And you want to preserve that original English he wrote in. The Bible was not written originally in English, despite what people might think. It was not written in King James English. It was just a kind of a moment in time when this is how they decided to translate, because that was the English people were speaking at that time. But to kind of freeze that moment and make it the way to translate into English is pretty foolish in my view.
Do you think there was a political influence in the King James or something from that time period that is present in the text?
Well, politics were always involved. As you might know, the King James in England is called the authorized version because the king at that point, James, hence the name, obviously, was getting tired of the Protestants quarreling about the Bible and said, we need one authorized version of the Bible, and this is going to be it. So, yeah, there were politics involved there.